with all this talk about me being late, I thought I'd surprise you and be early. And as a particular nod to Adam Welch, I'm going to be 3 minutes early rather than 3 minutes late. 3 minutes early, yes. How's everybody doing? I hope you are doing well. I terribly need a haircut, but other than that, I'm doing pretty nice. Got my nice peachy coloured cutting mat. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Maiko, Adam, Johnny. I think I saw Colin here as well. Hello, Colin. And whoever else is here, please feel free to say hi. Hello, Andy. Having hair. I do have lots of hair. Like, even I don't have much of a receding hairline, if I have any of one. Plenty of hair. Hello, Shiv. Hello, James. Hello, Gerald. Brain hasn't developed a stutter. I might have. I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave it another minute for people to come. Yeah, so just while we're waiting for people to come, this is the screen that I want to build the thing with. I also want to double sound. It should only be you, I'd say, Dave. Yeah, 2 windows somewhere. Hello, Leo. How's it going? Rotor, how is it going? Yeah, I just said I'd start a little bit early. Literally just kind of mainly chatting or whatever. I want to try out two rotary encoders. From a product point of view, rotary encoders are quite expensive. Like, to buy, unless I'm looking at them wrong on LCSC, like, to buy fairly standard rotary encoders are like nearly $2 each, which are, about as expensive, if not more expensive, than these little breakout components are. Hello, Mark. And what's your girlfriend's name? Don't tell me. Crap, I can't remember. I'm really bad with names. Hello, Sven and Dave, or just Dave. I can't think of her name. Emma. It is Emma. I'm going to be honest. It was like at the tip of my tongue. Like, I knew it was an English sounding name. I just couldn't think of it. I'm really bad with names. Like, if I meet someone for the first time, unless they introduce themselves, I am not going to remember their name. Like, if somebody goes, "Oh, hey, Brian, this is my friend, blah, blah, blah," I'd be like, "Hello, what was her name?" Emma is Dutch too. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be an unusual name here or in, I don't know about England. Congrats on 1K, Dave. I'm actually shocked that I was only thinking about it when I saw your tweet. I was like, I would have bet money that you were already on that. Yeah, Colin, I actually remembered that it was also your wife's name, but I couldn't remember your wife's name either. So that's where I was really struggling. Hello, Andy. Hey, Paul. Late to the early party. Yes, I can. Yeah, I should be able to. So, watch your eyes. I got my component drawers up. Some of them. I should have another row on top, but I'll get to them. My my helper retired while I was while we were in the middle of the job, drinking some more Guinness. No, I cannot stand the taste of Guinness. Yeah, if you maybe stop making videos for Element 14 or sorry, Elephant 19 and start making those videos for your own channel. Although financially, if my earnings on YouTube are anything to go by, I don't know what anything is to do with Element 14, but I'm sure you're better off doing whatever. I know, I'm Irish. Don't drink Guinness. Well, you all know I don't drink, right? So I have a tiny Pico. I have a tiny Pico that I have in circulation. The problem with this tiny Pico is that I've already soldered the battery connector to it and it doesn't really go into breadboards anymore. So I have another tiny Pico, so I'll probably just solder up the pins of that. Now, well, I'll let Dave answer that fully, but Dave has done videos for Element 14. 1440p? What? Yeah, so I will have 8 by the time I'm done. There's room for at least another 2. That would bring it to 10. I think I'll be okay with 8 because I'm going to have some in the garage as well. Some more kind of tooly type ones will go down there. I've kind of moved away from using like I've kind of moved away from using like, true hole components and stuff that would go on those things. Like I tend to just buy parts when I design a PCB. Like I design a PCB and buy the parts at the same time, which is fine and not fine, but yeah, it seems alright. But like what I tend to have now is, you can't see it, but I have a big mess here. That's sound insulation to make the room sound less echoey. No, I just need to go to the dump. There's a wardrobe there, and there's a big yellow box at the bottom of that, and the boxes that LCSC and JLC stuff come in, I tend to have like one of them per project. So like I just put all the parts for, like, say, the Flexi Friend in one of those boxes. So like I don't keep them individually. Like there's some stuff that is shared amongst things, like say resistors or whatever. But like unlike Sion, who has, well, he should have a pick and place machine that works well. Like I don't have a pick and place machine, so reels of like resistors don't matter much to me or at all really. Like, say like 1,000 like 1K resistors or whatever, that could be $1, or $2. So I just get a bunch of them for each project and just leave them with it. Big Irish flag. I'm not very nationalistic like that. Like as in, I am not anyways ashamed to be Irish, but I wouldn't be the type of person who would like bring an Irish flag on holidays. I don't know why. But yeah, room definitely sounds less echoey. Well, yeah, there's stuff starting to go on walls and stuff. So yeah. Okay, so we solder up a tiny Pico because I want to make this a shield for the tiny Pico, I think, because it has the battery stuff already there, which is convenient for me, right? So, like, if you saw the thumbnail, I have like a a little sketch of what I want this thing to be. I wonder, do I have it here? It's either in my book or my wife's one. This doesn't seem to be in this one. I don't even know which one is my one and which one's my wife's one, though. It's in the other one, wherever it is, but, oh! So, are any of you familiar with the SAO stand that I sell on Tindie? Well, I came up with it with I don't know exactly how the situation went, but it came from a discussion with Dave Darko. I think I was trying to get him to make it, but I didn't end up getting him to make it. However, that ended up happening, and then I ended up making it myself. But yeah, here is, I don't know what that was, but that is that is the first artist's impression of the SAO stand. That looks pretty close to what it ended up being. Brine CAD, yeah. What else do I have anything else interesting in here? Some sketches of what I thought was going to be my office in this house. That would be the room below me now, but yeah, so that didn't end up happening. Looks like a toilet. It does look a little bit like a toilet. I suppose I better look at what is there before. Oh, here's another good one. Does anyone know what this is from? Well, it couldn't be too hard to guess. Yeah, turned out like one of Arturo's renders. Does anyone remember this thing? It's from MakerCast. Yeah. And here's another thing that I'm working on. By working on, I mean I worked on before and have kind of forgotten about. But yeah, a 3D printed matrix with a flexible PCB to make it easier to do the wrapping around of the LED strips. I have them actually. So yeah, I need to actually turn that into a project at some stage. Okay, so we solder up. Yes, the MakerCast quiz. It was from that time. It was from that time I did the Taskmaster kind of quiz. Oh yeah, that's another that's another project, I think. That's for the crappy what are those things? Elegoo Stream Deck. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it, Stephen. I'm swimming in projects at the moment, so I'm not sitting here waiting for it. Yeah, if anybody is in the Midlands of Ireland and wants to convert a toaster oven to a reflow oven for me, I'd the shit tech. Yeah. Shit deck. Ooh. That would be much appreciated. Because I need to do it, but I just really don't want a poop deck. The poop deck is... Now there's a name. We got our name, people. So I need some 10p headers for the Tiny Pico. I have quite a few 10p headers. I saw the video that Adam did. Way too high end for my liking. No, it was really cool, Adam's project, for sure. This is significantly less impressive. It's basically one of these, which is a capacitive touch array, and you can put paper on it, right? And it's still capacitive touch through the paper. So what I was thinking is you could, like, if you had a 3D printed case, you could put your paper underneath it and you could have icons printed on it that were like your Stream Deck. You know, a shitty Stream Deck. So Stephen has come up with the name for it, the Poop Deck, which is perfect for it. So yeah, you just connect this to your Arduino Pro Micro, Pro Mini, Pro whatever it is, and then or your ESP32, or the new D1 Mini HID shield that's coming. Yeah, so yeah, let me quickly show you that. This has turned into Brian show and tell. Yeah, so this is a project I've talked about a lot over, I don't know, the last few years or whatever. So I wanted to make a shield for a D1 Mini. Hey Chris, long time no see. I wanted to make a shield for the D1 Mini that was for HID. So HID is like issuing keyboard and mouse events or whatever. So you can emulate like button presses. And I saw Aaron Christoffel working with a chip that was really cheap, the CH552, and that could do HID stuff. And I was like, oh, super awesome. So it doesn't work with the Arduino IDE or anything. So it's a different type of programming that you need to do for it. I think it's C, but just it uses different tool chains or whatever. And I was like, oh, awesome. So if I got this, it has serial available to it or UART. So I could take in commands from the UART and then send out HID stuff so I could make it a shield. I was like, this would be super nice. So I made this a good while ago and I ordered it and I played around with it a little bit, but I never really got anywhere with it. But thanks to some massive help from Aaron himself, he wrote firmware for this and it's available on his GitHub that converts UART commands into HID commands, and like he wrote a library for it and everything. So like this board, I've already ordered a new rev of it. This board is the first board to use it, but like the firmware is available to just use this on any design now. So yeah, could be interesting. So like basically what you could do with something like this then is you could have like a web page hosted on the ESP that was controls for, like, could be a virtual keyboard and mouse or whatever. So like one idea I have is like to plug it into my Fire TV or something, so I could have a remote for my Fire TV on my phone. So I think some interesting things could come out of this, but yeah, so new rev order of that, so I'm looking forward to getting that. So huge thanks to Aaron for that. Okay, let's solder. Of course, we're only going to solder with one thing. HID silicone hooked header pin MQTT lawnmower. I'm very unlikely to say MQTT randomly. Hooked header pin. I don't know what that. How I'm gonna randomly say that either. But yeah. So I'm gonna use the Flexi Friend. Still waiting on the new design with that has stuff ESD. Gimme. It's coming at some stage. Oh yeah, I showed this the last time I showed this thing, but this works fine, but I don't know what happened to the board. It got fairly toasted when it was being reflowed. Yeah. But I have another one and it works fine too, but yeah, don't know. You do have to be patient. Hello, Photo Croc Max. Some videos of Twitch streamers have been kind of showing up on my YouTube feed of like how people like, you know, mess with Twitch streamers and like, you know, just they do donations with like funny names or whatever and the person calls it out. Excuse me. I don't know what ones to say, like Ice Wallow. I won't finish the rest of that, but you know, like the words individually look perfectly fine, but when you read them out phonetically and all together, they say stuff. Oh, I never mentioned. Yeah, Mike Hunt would be one, but like I'd be surprised if there isn't a few Mike Hunts floating about. Okay, so it's a little bit dark. I guess it's getting darker as the stream goes on, so I can adjust the brightness of the light. But yeah, it's funny how those recommendations happen. I also, like, I nearly hesitate to say that it's coming up, but, like, also, I don't know why, but I'm getting loads of recommendations about people, like, bashing on the WNBA at the moment. I don't even care about basketball at all, so I don't know where it's come up with this idea that I'm, like, super into like people going, hey, look, the WNBA is crap. I'm like, I don't have an opinion on basketball at all. So I don't know. I think where it came from was I watched the Michael Jordan documentary, which is really good actually. I highly recommend watching that. And like I think I just looked up a couple of things after watching that or something, and now suddenly it's like, hey, it thinks you're into basketball, okay, and for some other reason we also think you hate women, so I don't know. I don't know where it picked that up in my algorithm, but your phone and my browser. Oh, well, YouTube definitely spies on me. No question. No question. Yeah, I have to just tell it, hey, I'm not interested in this recommendation. But, like, I guess what was worse as well was, like, the first time one popped up, I was like, this couldn't be what I think it is it? And like I looked at it and it was exactly, and I was turned it off. I was like, ugh, what? Yes, if you don't pay for something, you're the product. What was I watching? I don't know. I found that sometimes I don't watch it regularly by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes I watch some Joe Rogan videos. Like if there's somebody he's talking to who I think is particularly interesting, or maybe they're talking about a specific thing that I think is interesting, and I think anytime I watch that stuff, it seems to go, okay, Brian's into Joe Rogan, maybe he hates women. I don't know why I wouldn't equate that those two things are equal, but I don't know. Sion should be up by now. I don't know. It's like 7 o'clock still. So maybe he's up by now, but I wouldn't hold it against him. Yeah, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't see ads. Like this big ad wave that I think is coming in, I don't. Yeah, he's sweeping the carpet for hundreds of dollars worth of components. This big ad wave that's probably coming in, I don't know anything about it. Because I don't watch any videos, or I don't watch any ads. Okay. So I ordered a shield. Do you want to see it actually? Designed based on the D1 Mini. Where's my mouse? I am going to I'm going to attempt to. I don't want to be like really definite about it, because I don't want somebody in like 6 months' time to go, "Hey, you have enabled mid-rolls now, so, and you said you never would." But for the moment, I don't think I will be enabling mid-rolls. My biggest worry about it is that, like, I kind of talked about it with ads in general. I don't really see a huge amount of point in the ads at the size of channel I am. Like the amount of views I get. I don't release a lot of videos, so in general I don't get a huge amount of views. Like on average, I probably get about $50 a month from YouTube, and then like by the time you factor in tax and stuff into that, like I really don't make anything from YouTube in general. But I really think that if you don't have ads, they'll show your videos, they'll recommend your videos less. And I think the same thing may happen with mid-rolls. That if I don't have mid-rolls, I don't think there's a possibility that my videos won't get recommended as much. That's not a huge concern for me at the moment, because I'm not releasing any videos. But I will, I promise. Videos are coming real soon. First one is going to be a review of the TS80P. This little bad boy. Whatever it is. So it's the new TS80 that has power delivery on it. Here's a sneak preview of basically the only difference between it and the TS80. Pop. Just nice and fiddly. It's the same tips and everything. Yeah, like, do what I need to do. Like, yeah, like 15, like, an ad every like 5 minutes is awful. Like that's nuts to me. So, like, I would really like to not enable mid-rolls. I just don't see the value of it. Like, as I mentioned, I don't make a lot of money from like YouTube ads, so I'm happy enough that if I'm happy enough that like to potentially make money otherwise, to just let my channel grow and make. If my channel was a certain size, then enable ads or whatever. But yeah. Okay, so do you want to see the shield I made for this ST7789? Uh, I did deactivate it. I have deactivated it. I already had it as not my default to enable mid rolls, and I've also did that step that is like my videos aren't suitable for mid rolls. So like at the moment, I will not be enabling mid rolls, but I just don't like. I don't want to categorically go, I'm definitely never enabling mid rolls, because if in 6 months' time I think it's beneficial for whatever reason to enable the mid rolls, then I might enable them. So. I don't have a lot of long videos. DefPom, like 10 or 15 minutes would be like my max videos normally. I'm just opening Easy EDA here to show you the thing. Yeah, like adverts suck and waste bandwidth. That like true, but somebody needs to pay YouTube, and at some stage somebody needs to pay the creators of the videos too. So funny mid-rolls. Yeah, I might start doing fake ads like, hey, do you need a power blocker in your life or something? I'll just do fake ones. Yeah, so I designed a shield for the D1 Mini. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Yes. I don't know what's the best way to show it to you. Photo view? Yeah, photo view is pretty good. Yeah, so I designed a shield for the D1 Mini. So on one side we have, so these are surface mount header pins, 2x8. So the D1 Mini will go into the first row of them. And the reason I needed to do the surface mount ones is because if we look at the bottom side of the PCB, the screen takes up pretty much exactly where the D1 Mini would be. So the pins would like short off the bottom of the screen. Make sure to fake ad cuts in the mid word in the and yeah, so this is why it's really important. Hey, did you know that yeah, so this, yeah, if you see this, something's gone wrong, because the screen should be here with a ribbon cable going through this cutout onto the other side, and then being soldered there. There's some stuff to control like the backlight, but it's yeah, doesn't matter. Could we make something that automatically mute ads? Maybe. Then I break out every available pin that's not being used by the screen to here. So if people want to connect up, I don't know, sensors or whatever. And then there's also 2 free GPIOs that aren't the I2C pins that I just broke out to button pads. So they are on their way, and hopefully they work okay. And I could see this being kind of useful. I don't know about you guys, but like I have, like when I'm building projects, I have the need for this exact thing that you see here, like a screen hooked up to the D1 Mini all the time. Like that's the majority of the kind of projects I make, and maybe there might be a couple of little inputs, or maybe it's hooked up to a sensor or something, but like that kind of like a internet connected display is like stuff I do all the time. So like I think shields for screens are good or nice, but the problem with the like shields you can buy on AliExpress, with screens on them is the screen is tiny. So this is an ugly shield in ways because, you know, it's not the same size as the D1 Mini. But hopefully, yeah, it's about, like, this follows the pattern of the reset button of the D1 Mini. So I'd expect the D1 Mini to kind of go up here, down around here. I can't remember exactly how it goes. But this is a 1.3 inch display, is it, or 1.2? It's pretty decent sized. But like, say, as far as I know, the biggest shield that you can get for with a screen on it for the D1 Mini is the OLED one, which is like 0.6. This one is more than 9.6. This is 1.2, I think. Let's see, is it written on the back? It is not, but I think it's a 1.3. This particular one is from MakerFabs. So if you look up MakerFabs ST7789, you'll see it, but I'm pretty sure that that exact one is also available on AliExpress. So, yeah. Yeah, so this isn't an OLED. So let's plug it in and hope that I still have something programmed to it. This is... where's my USB cable? If you can zoom in, I can see by the pixels. The other thing that's super nice about this one is it's 240 by 240. It seems like either I don't have it connected up right anymore, or let's see if I can get it back working. What was it called? TFT digital clock. I think this is it. So I have so many boards. I really need to, like, I'm pretty sure you can edit this boards list, and I really need to at some stage just take out like nearly all the ESP8266 boards. Like, I only used the D1 Minis pretty much, so a power blocker would have saved my dongle, and who knows if I blew caused the 5-volt reg on the Mega to fry. It must have shut up the USB as the Wi-Fi dongle on my Pi, and the USB block is now fried. Yeah, it's 240 by 240. It's really nice resolution. You accidentally flipped the microswitch ground and 5. Oh no. Done uploading. Yeah, so they're... I don't know, was it... Oh, sorry, I was playing with the brightness. Let me just get rid of that. I was just testing... Like, the wiring diagram I was following didn't have... I suppose I could just plug out the backlight. Didn't have the backlight configured using a wire, and I wanted to see what it looked like to have that. So, like, this is a really nice display. Yeah, the OLEDs are only 128 by 664. The other thing is that, like, this is cheaper than an OLED. Like, an OLED this size is $4. This is $2. So, like, the display isn't square, but the display area is, like, it starts, like, from here. So, like, if I cover my finger there, it looks more square now, right? yeah, the for some reason that got blocked. Yeah, the ribbon cable is black as well. Um, yeah, so it doesn't look square, but it is square. And like, let me make it a little bit bigger, or so you can see a little bit bigger. Like that text in between that looks quite small for you guys, that's perfectly readable. Like you can see that it is windy there. You can't really make out the date, or at least I can't in my OBS preview. But it's perfectly readable. Like, it's that high of resolution. So I know it's not high resolution. But like if you're doing something like the Spotify like displaying the artist album picture or whatever, like you need 240 by 240, because the smallest one that Spotify provide, I think, is 64 by 64. But yeah, like I think these are way better value than the OLED. The only advantage I see with the OLED is it's only 2 data pins, and this is, in its current configuration, is using 4, and then I'm using a 5th one for the backlight as well. I could have dropped one of them, but I'm only using D0 with it. I think it's DC, which I guess is kind of like chip select. I'm not 100% sure. I could have not used that, but I only had it connected to, or maybe it was reset. No, it's reset. I could have not connected up reset, but it was only connected to D0 anyways. So D0 is D0 is not a particularly good pin. DC is data command. Okay. The OLED is possibly less power hungry too, but I guess if you're turning off the backlight or turning down the backlight, so like I just basically almost like blink through the backlight there. I did a digital write at high, then low, and then half brightness, and then yeah. It says, yeah, the blue text says it's windy. Yeah, so D0 is kind of a useless pin anyways, because you can't use it for PWM or interrupts and stuff, so I wasn't too bothered about losing that. Yeah, I'd have to refocus to get it in closer. I guess I may as well, just for the fun of it. But this is a really nice display, I think. Too far. Come on. There. So, like, it's pretty nice. I'm not sure where it's actually getting the date from. It's the correct date, too. Where is it getting that from? Jeez, I must look into that, because it's not connected to the internet or anything. The time is pretty right, too. Where's it getting that from? Target time is millis plus 1,000. And it's advancing seconds. Right. Oh, it's getting it from the compiler. Ah. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. So that's the time. Yeah, the time that it compiled. So if I reset it, would it be wrong then? Probably. Yeah, it's probably connected to a server in China. Yeah, like 8 pixels is kind of the default height of a font, right? So what I'd like to do is, so I have what's on this PCB, or sorry, this breadboard is ordered. Let me fix this focus again. What's on this breadboard is ordered. So what I'd like to do now is connect it up to the Tiny Pico. I'd like to connect it up to the Tiny Pico and just make sure that I have good pins for doing the same thing. And I think there's a reset one here, and I think I can connect it to the reset pin of the Tiny Pico. I don't know a huge amount about SPI or whatever, but I think that's something that we can do. That would free up a pin for me on the Tiny Pico, so that would be good for me. I don't know how that'll show up for people, but I'll put it in there anyways. So I only have one of these displays, so hopefully I don't break it. I bought some more of the actual display from like just the ribbon cable part from my buddies at MakerFab, but they're not here yet. I suppose I put it down here. Okay, so let's get wiring. We'll be here a while. I measure my blood sugar. Just Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna stop streaming in an hour and 15 minutes. I think 2 hours streams should be pretty good. You won't miss any ads. I don't enable ads on my stream. Like, so when you come to watch a stream, you shouldn't see an ad. If you do, let me know. Like as I mentioned, I don't see ads, so I don't fully understand what the landscape is of YouTube and stuff at the moment, but I think if I wanted to watch somebody live, I'd like to get straight into the live part and not an ad part. Yeah, so I don't know. So I'm just going to start connecting up the power pins anyways. So this is a 3 volt display. My favorite voltage. Okay, so I just have connected up to the power bar and then gone across. Okay, so I need to look up the Tiny Pico's datasheet. I don't really, because I have this thing that came with it. Okay, so we're using mostly these, but not all of these. I forget which ones I need to use, but let's see. Oak tree. Hello, Eric. How's it going? Let me go to my board view, screen share. So this isn't quite the same because this has pads in it that the other one doesn't. So SCL, I'm saying, is source clock. So that's pin 18 of the... Seems a bit loose there, isn't it? So that's pin 18 of the Tiny Pico. So let's do that first. SCL pin 18. Search for ST7789. I don't know if it's an IPS panel. So source clock is going to 18 of the tiny pico. Okay, so that's good. All right, so then the SDA pin, it's a little bit hidden for you, but that is connected to what is now referred to as copy, which I believe is Mozzie of previous naming convention. So I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know Mozzie stood for Master and Slave. That's how little I know about SPI. So I didn't have really any problem swapping over to something else, but yeah, so I decided to just go with the newer one. So pin 23 is this copy one, and that is going to SDA of this shield. Okay. So reset. I'm gonna try put reset to be reset of the tiny pico. I don't fully know how that works, but I'm pretty sure that's something I'm allowed to do. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I own oi. Yeah, that's what the new one is. It's P is peripheral and C is, I don't know. To be honest, I probably should know, but then again, I didn't know what the M in Mozzie stood for. So, controller. Thank you, Dave. Controller and peripheral. Yeah, so they're all hooked up now. I'm gonna leave backlight off because it doesn't need backlight to begin with. It just the backlight will be on if there's nothing connected to the backlight pin. So we can just use any pins. Just don't look at it upside down. What's upside down? Chip select are connected. DC. Yeah, no, they're a really good value. Like, it's crazy. Like, an OLED for me is $4 for the bigger one. So these look super nice. If anybody is getting stuff off Maker Fabs anyways, I think these are $2 each or $2.50 or something. Yeah. So this circuitry here that you see, that's on this board already. That's just backlight control stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we're pretty good here, I think. Now, let's get this, what did I call it? It's the TFT time clock digital. Here we go. Okay, so I'm using a library here called TFT ESPI, and I think it's generally considered to be like the best library for these types of displays. I kind of don't like the way you configure it though. You have to edit like the library to put in the pins basically. I don't really like that, but if it's the best one, then I don't know, what can you do? So like for these shields or whatever that I'm making, I will provide, the library has, I'm just bringing it up now at the moment, the library has this config file. Libraries, tft, espi, user setup.h. Yeah, the libraries have these config files, and like, you know, you comment out what you want or don't want or whatever, and like platform IO, would you stop? You're so needy. Stop it. Yeah, so you know, you set the resolution and stuff like that. So like what I'll end up doing is I'll provide a user setup.h file for any shields that I have. So it'll just be a case of, hey, take this file and put it in there and it will work for you. Oh yeah, so like I'm only, maybe it was 320 on Makerfabs. I thought it was cheaper, but yeah, in fairly small quantities anyways. The screen itself is only $2. Like, which kind of brings me back to this rotary encoder stuff. Hey James, how's it going? Like, are the rotary encoders really more expensive than the screen? Like, on one rotary encoder? Like, am I looking them up wrong? On LCSC, is a standard rotary encoder really like $2? Because I possibly will reevaluate, right? Because, you know, maybe I can get away with just one rotary encoder if the bloody thing is half my BOM cost. Like, do you know what I mean? Can't you just copy and paste the defines into the IDE? You could. I suppose you. I don't think so, right? Because it maybe after. I think you'd have to comment out that in the library though, because I think this user setup.h is included from the library. It's not included from the. It's not included from the sketch. Yeah, so this was originally for the D1 Mini. I might actually keep this one somewhere. Let's make a backup of it. Copy. User setup. They give you a few examples of user setups, but D1 Mini. The Tiny Pico is physically connected, but I don't have it powered up yet. So I'm configuring it at the moment, Michael. Right, so let's get rid of these. Could connect to Node MCU reset. Yeah, so -1. Okay, so let's go down and look at the ESP32. Suit your ESP32 dev board. Okay, so Mozzie, and so they're all looked after. They're the hardware pins. For CS chip select, what did I use for chip select? Is chip select even broken out for me? Chip select is just connected to ground. Okay, so I don't need to do anything with chip select. And I didn't do anything with it in the other one, so yeah, that's fine. DC I have connected to pin 19. So Mark Olson. Yeah, like the rotary encoders on AliExpress are way cheaper. Like, as in, I thought when I'm buying significant amounts of, well, it's not significant. This doesn't have a button, does it? True hole, push button switches, rotary encoder. I'm just looking at the one. Oh no, I need that page. The data sheet's in Chinese. Hide color type. Yeah, I have no idea where I got this breadboard from. I think I might have won it. It is good wherever I got it from. These breadboards don't video well, but these are really good. They are quite expensive though. They're Robodin, I think, clear breadboards, and they're the best quality breadboards that I can buy, I think. Well, like on AliExpress anyways. I do have some decent breadboards, but yeah, a lot of the ones I have are crap. So James is saying there's one here, Farnell for £1 for 25 pieces. Okay, so I need to just dig a bit deeper with my rotary encoders, because yeah, like Robodin clear breadboard. Does that bring up anything? They're quite expensive though. Like it's $2 for the, like, so I haven't bought one in a long time. But it's like $2 for the breadboard, I think, which is $1 more than crap breadboards. But then there's postage on top of that too, and you can get the crap ones for free postage. Like I have a very so like I'm just looking around my desk, and there's clear Robodin breadboards everywhere. I have a very like easy test for what I consider a good breadboard or a bad breadboard. That's pretty good. €2 including shipping. My test is basically, look at this, an OG Tiny Pico. My test is basically, does a development board press in? Okay, and that didn't actually do too great. Like it went in reasonably okay. But yeah, that's basically my test. If that passes, where I can press it in without having to like shove it against the table, I consider it a good breadboard. But I really like these ones. I think they're good quality. It is see-through and does not show up, like, definitely from a video point of view, a white breadboard is better. Just to see, like, it's harder to see what that's plugged into. But, yeah. I don't know where I got this one, but it's pretty good. Like, I wouldn't have done that either, so, like, I don't know who did that, but thank you. And hello, Unexpected Maker. How is it going? Okay, so DC I have connected to, I'm using your lovely diagram here. It is quite nice. DC I have connected to pin 19. And reset I have connected to -1. I think that's possibly all I need to do. Let's give it a go. So back to the Arduino IDE, and I'm looking at, I have tons of stuff open at the moment. TFT clock. I never actually mentioned why I didn't stream last week. So I wasn't feeling well last week, since about Thursday night. I had a bit of a fever, and it was pretty high on Friday after work. It was like 38.6, which is high, especially for me, I guess. I don't know. Um, so I rang my doctor on Friday and got. Why isn't that showing up as a port? I rang my doctor on Friday and got referred to a COVID-19 test. So on Monday, I got a COVID-19 test. So I got my brain swabbed, or whatever people say that is, and it came up negative. I got the test results on Wednesday. By Wednesday, I was starting to feel better. Anyways, I still wasn't great on Friday. I was really tired last week, even Wednesday and Thursday. I went back to work on Thursday. I had Friday off anyways, and I just took that off. So yeah, so it started to feel better towards the end of the week. It was kind of funny. So like on Monday, at the weekend when I was like, you know, the highest fever or whatever, I was actually pretty productive. I was uncomfortably like hot or just warm, but like other than that, I was in here just working. What else could I do? Like, as in, I was kind of isolating from people in the house too, so like I couldn't go down to the living room. So there's only so much bed you can um there's only so much bed you can take. So I was just got up and I ended up designing two PCBs from it. So yeah. Yes. Soldering tiny pins. The Robodin clear half-size breadboards are 99 cents each. 129 for the full-size ones. Wow, they've dropped in price. I must stock up. Okay, so I have COM port selected. I go to scroll up to Tiny Pico, and I'll click the upload button. Can I get a rewind? Craig David. Monday. Took her for a drink on Tuesday. Is that? Oh, D8. There's no D8s on a Tiny Pico. Who would have thought? Hey, all these breadboards being bought, I want in on the affiliate action. If I'm not enabling ads for you, I'm gonna make money off you on affiliate ads. Robodin breadboards. I still have a D8 here, so I'm it's Robotdin, is it? Robotdin, yes, Robotdin. Breadboard. AliExpress have enabled this new feature too, which you won't care about, but it makes it easier to affiliate link stuff. I can just show it to you here now. So where are my? So here's see, my shipping is $3.18. So it hasn't gotten any better for me. But I guess if I was stacking a couple of things. So maybe that won't be the case for everybody. But yeah, so see, hey, where is it? Hey, where's my cool thing? No, it's gone. They used to have a thing up the top that would let me affiliate link stuff. It's gone. Easy come, easy go, I guess. Free delivery upon purchase of $25, but does not count to me, anyways. Over $10. Get a few masks. I'm so sad about that I signed in. I am logged in. I'm so sad about that. That that was so nice. Why would you take this away from me? Is it because I'm super zoomed in? I you don't understand how sad I am. I'm so sad. Now I have to go. Maybe it's because I'm just not logged into portals. But I am logged into portals. Guys, I'm so sad. Because the problem is that I need to, like, to get an affiliate link, I have to go to get the product, then go to portals.aliexpress.com, go to blah, 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 get my link, then get a tracking link, and then see does the product even support tracking whatsoever. Here's a link to the full one, so if you just click that and then buy another one, it works. Oh, Stephen, I'm 100% talking about the Ali one because they copied Amazon. Like the Amazon one, so sad, Sion, so sad. I'm so sad. Colin putting the affiliate links. On a scale to 1 to 3, which is the saddest? Maybe it's just Robodin doesn't have it. I just went to some random thing and that has it. See, it's up here. Oh, sorry, you don't see it because my face is in the way. So commission rate on this charger is 4%. So sell one charger, I get 8 cents. So it probably wasn't worth doing for the breadboards. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know why it wasn't showing up for Robodin. Yeah, who cares? In the portal you can turn it on and off, but it didn't fix it for me. It's not free shipping to me. 3 is very sad. Well, I'm a 3. Let's get back to SPI. I don't know. Let's talk about affiliate linking more. Okay, so would people, this is an off the wall question, but would people be interested in a video where I talk about how much money I've earned or I earn on YouTube? What is going on with this? TFT CS was not declared in the scope. Did I not save this? I did. What did I have before? Oh, D8. What did I have D8 connected to? D8 was connected to DC. I'm a little bit confused here. So here's the one that was working for me. So I had TFT, DC, and reset. They were the only 2 things I had enabled. But I have them in overlap. But I don't have that enabled. So why isn't this working? I don't really care if if it's a breach of their T's and C's, what are they gonna do? They don't care about me, right? Um, why would I tell that? Because I think people a couple of times in the last year, people have like made a comment to me about like, oh, you must be raking it in or whatever, and I think it might be interesting to show exactly how much uh like I make or made or whatever tense you want to call it. Um like I think it's also potentially useful information for people who are starting off or people who are around the same size as me to see where I make money from or where I don't make money from. Um, Raking the leaves, yeah. Like I've always maintained that this, like, if you took the amount of work I put into this, like between everything that I do related to the channel, this is the worst paid job I've ever had by a mile, just a million miles. I could go door to door mowing lawns and it would pay better than this, 100%. Um, like you get £120 a month. I don't get anywhere near that. I wouldn't even get half of that. Uh, Possibly closer to a third. Ha ha ha. But it's not about subscribers, which I think is another interesting thing to talk about, right? It's just about views. Like if you have videos that get, a lot of views, you'll make more money. It's kind of it's the crux of it. So I can't remember, Chris, but I'm betting you have some videos that have quite a lot of views. Like my most viewed video is like 120,000 views or something in or around that. I think it's the Matrix video. So yeah. So why isn't this working? DC is 19. Like CS isn't even broken out. So there's nothing really I can do about that. Let me just double check. It's complaining about CS, right? TFT clock digital. TFT CS is not declared in the scope. Oh, do I need to? So is it not just taking my? Is it not just taking the defaults? I'm guessing it's not. There's some examples here of user setups. Is there an ESP32? There's a load of stuff. I think this is quite a difficult library to use. There's 45 example setups. Yeah, so like I think 120,000 is crazy high. Like don't get me wrong. Like it's just more. Yeah, so they have them written out here like this. Can be mapped to any pins. These are okay. So I need to put them in. Yeah, like I think that's crazy high. It's just that's where it is. Okay, so what am I? I'm using 23 for SDA Mozzie. I'm using source clock. I think I'll just, like, this isn't even exposed, so will I just make it -1 and see what happens? Yeah, if we come up with a good name for it, I'll take it. Should have used the 555. Bach equals more. Yeah, so like to give you a sneak kind of preview or whatever of like what I earn or whatever, like I'd make about $50 a month on YouTube, and I would make kind of between $100 and $200 a month off AliExpress. Okay, so we've got a lift off here. Yeah, so like, you know, maybe people aren't into affiliate marketing at the moment or whatever, and then they see that and they're like, oh, maybe I should do some more affiliate linking, or maybe it's worth my time to do affiliate linking. Because as I mentioned, doing affiliate links, it used to be way harder, but they made it a little bit easier recently. But yeah, so I don't think it is anymore, Johnny. I'm not 100% sure. It's coming close. I think I set it up around this time last year. The last payment was doubled, but I think the next one isn't going to be. Like, it's not for the first of your 12 months. It's for the first of my 12 months. They also made a change recently that I'm surprised they didn't bring in before this. That if you have a sponsor page, if you sponsor somebody else, then the doubling stuff doesn't happen anymore. Because what would end up happening is that I scratch your back, you scratch mine, and both of us have our donations to each other doubled. And yeah. Oh yeah, like the video, like nobody's going to click a link without the video. It's more that, like, you know, if you make a video showing the screen off, for example, like, is it worth your while affiliate linking the screen? It probably is, or at least it is for me. You know, for me, it is worth the effort to go do that. Yeah. Okay, so this is good that this is working. We could use any, and the fact that I've used reset now as well. They brought it in about a month ago, Stephen. So like, let's just take, for example, Stephen was sponsoring me. I also was sponsoring Stephen. You know, these things happen, and stuff was happening. Yeah. So, okay. We have used only 3 GPIO pins at the moment, which is good. So we've lots of GPIO pins left over. I think I'd like to make... I think so far I've only used 23, 19, and 18. I think I'd like to make the backlight controllable, so I might connect that to GPIO 5. So that would leave me then with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pins left over. Each rotary encoder uses 3 pins, so that's 6. So that would leave me with 4 pins for buttons. I am using the I squared C pins if I do it that way. Like the other thing that I could potentially do is like use a pin expander. Yeah, I don't need miso or what's that, sipo these days. So I'm actually using miso at the moment for another purpose. I'm using it for data command. Just because they are the SPI pins, right? And I'm using part of the SPI for the display. So I'm kind of, my thinking is that I don't think it's hippo and sipo, is it? Is it? I don't think so. It's sipo and copy, isn't it? So like my thought process is that like I'm not going to be using SPI for anything else, so I may as well use those pins to control the display that's also using SPI. So yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that I might put GPIO 5 to the backlight. Host in, peripheral out. Okay, so let's just disconnect that. So it looks like I can probably get rotary encoders a little bit cheaper than I thought, which helps in the thought process behind like, hey, we could still, 2 rotary encoders are still on the table, I guess. I see. C3PO. Like they didn't mean anything to me. Like if a wiring diagram told me to connect Mozzie, I would just connect it to Mozzie. I didn't know anything about how it worked or how anything. I was just like, yeah, cool, blah 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 blah. So yeah. Okay, so let's enable the backlight pin. So I'm saying GPIO pin 5. I really should have this defined somewhere, but oh no. It's because I have all of them selected. So do you know that shortcut, control slash forward slash toggles between all of them being a comment or not? Useful one. And so let's try upload that. Yeah, so my idea just behind the 2 encoders. Oh yeah, no analog write on ESP32. Let's get rid of that. My thought process behind the 2 encoders is how do I demonstrate this without getting demonetized? I just don't show you the video. So I worked on something on the Spotify library where I'm able to play specific albums or songs or things like that. COM26. Oh, it'd probably help if I plugged in the Tiny Pico. Yeah, I worked on a change where I can play specific things, and so I was thinking it might be interesting to have like one be like volume, and maybe if you press it in, it controls like the like where you are in the song or something, so it like skips it forward or whatever. And then I was thinking maybe the other one could be a menu, right? That like you scroll and it goes through a menu system and then you tap it. And like what you could do in the menu is stuff like you could save this song or save this artist or save this album to Spiffs or whatever. And then you could also use the same menu to play back these songs. So say for example, like my daughter loves the song Let It Go, that like she might have a way of just playing Let It Go from this thing. Like, so she doesn't need to go, hey, Amazon thing that's on top of my kitchen counters, play Let It Go. Like she can just play Let It Go from here. Or, you know, if I was only designing it for my daughter, I'd probably do something simpler than this. Like that touchpad thing with like pictures of the song might be pretty cool. Yeah, so I might do something along those lines, but like that's kind of my thinking behind having two. And the other thing as well is like while I'm kind of designing this for Spotify, I also like would like it to be flexible to be used for other things. Like say for example, if you're streaming, like maybe you can turn up and down like your volume or something, like the mic volume with this one, and maybe you turn up and down like your desktop volume with the other one or something. I don't know. I think like I think you could get away with one, but I think two might be cool. But I don't know. Like right, so is it working? I don't know if I uploaded it since I plugged it back in. It still has the same COM port anyways. Hey, PsyQ. You're coming live from hospital after surgery. Sorry to hear that. I hope you're recovering okay. Long time no see. Okay, it's uploading something. Hey, Andy. The mouse variety. Okay, so it's so we're working here with that. Okay, so that's pretty nice. We've gotten all this connected up. So maybe will we connect up one rotary encoder and see how we get on? See you, Adam. Thanks for joining. Sorry for knocking the thing. Yeah, let's connect up a rotary encoder. Okay, so we need let's put you on the big. Only 30 minutes left. I should put up like a big timer or something using a matrix up there. Okay, so what is it? It's I'll plug out the other rotary encoder and use it as my wiring diagram. Okay, so it's ground in this one here. Is that right? Yeah. And then plus. I love these screens. Like, I nearly feel like I should make a video on just these screens. It's like, hey, guys, get on this. And buy it through my affiliate link. No, I'm not that desperate for it. Okay, so let's just pick 3 pins beside each other. 4, 14, and 15 all seem like lovely pins to use, so let's use them. Let's try use different color cables though, but also relatively long cables. I have no cables this long. I'm gonna have to jump it in the middle. Doesn't really matter a huge amount which goes where. I'm not too worried about these GPIO ones. We'll fix them up at some stage. Okay. Because I decided to use the long breadboard and be a million miles away, I'm just going to jump it to the middle somewhere and then finish off the journey. I suppose if I could keep the same color pins that would, or DuPont wires that would make it easier to follow. Where is Butter Looney? He's probably being unhelpful somewhere. No doubt. Dislocated your shoulder. Oh, the Lethal Weapon scene is not nice. You met Joey Tempest. I'm going to be honest, I don't know who that is. The screen flashing on and off is a feature at the moment. I'm turning on and off the screen using a digital right. That's just to kind of prove that I can control the backlight. I'm not turning on and off the screen, I'm turning on and off the backlight. From Europe. Yeah. Just moving them there. Right, so bloody, I hate breadboarding. Let's go for. Let's plug out power for now to make sure I'm not doing something stupid. I have a pretty nice example written of the, that feature I was talking about playing specific songs. I think people will enjoy it if they use it. Bright awake and can't sleep. Well, PsyQ, it's a new me. I don't stream long into the night anymore. Yeah, it does actually, like it's off now, so it's recording it really well. But yeah, it does. It looks fine. Okay, so I suppose I need to go get a rotary encoder library or something. I haven't used a rotary encoder for a while. What did you miss? We connected this ST7789 to the Tiny Pico, and it looks exactly like it did on the D1 Mini, which is good. You mean you're getting older? That's probably true. I feel wrecked by the time I stream at, if I finish streaming at 1 o'clock. Do I hate breadboarding more than I hate stripping wires? Brian hates breadboarding. This is true. I would often just make up a PCB rather than breadboarding and just order it and see what happens. Just, hey, did I mess it up? Cool, I'll just order another one. Like, yeah. Okay. Tiny LED Matrix Alex recommended this on Sion's stream, of all places. And I would highly recommend it. It works great. I think it was about £20 on Amazon. Better use my affiliate link. Kill you. There's probably an affiliate link to Amazon. It is, it's really good. Well, like, I haven't used it with loads of different wires, but like the wires I've tested it with, it works perfect. Like, I could have pulled it more there, but yeah. What more do you want? Like, I have one of those big ones that are more like A-shaped, and they look nearly more like a network crimpers. What about super thick wire? I already have, like, look, I need that money. Super thin wire, like like I've got Kinyar. Like, I can't imagine it's gonna be able to strip this. But look, if I go, it's gonna just cut this, right? Nah, it didn't do anything to it. No, it doesn't do anything to Kinyar. This is standard wire. I don't know. Would push buttons be cheaper and more useful than rotary encoders? Maybe. I definitely think I'd use one. If you had a min to be posting affiliate links in my chat, I'm more worried that the admins will post their own affiliate links in the chat. I actually don't mind. Honestly, I'm joking with the affiliate link stuff. Like, I don't make nearly anything from Amazon affiliate links. And the rotary has a push button. Like, it's weird. The whole thing is this big balancing act, right? It's like like when you're designing a product, it's like, okay, you want to make it cost effective because you want to be able to sell it at a price that people actually want to buy it off. You know what I mean? It's like standard hookup wire. Look, Adafruit call it hook up wire spool set. So it's standard wire. Like, yeah, so you have to make it like cost effective that people might want to buy it, but you also have to make it cool, right? You have to do something that like looks different. I don't have any Cat 5 here. I'd imagine it would work with Cat 5, maybe. Here's a cool link. Why am I clicking this? Yeah, that's a cool link. That's pretty similar to the stand that this camera is on, but mine is an IKEA. Am I adding a buzzer? I don't think so. I don't have the pins for it anyways. I hate, so whoever mentioned I hate stripping wires, I think it was Johnny. I hate stripping wires. Even with that thing, it's just the measuring out of wires. I just much prefer a PCB or whatever and just do whatever. Double click settings with the rotary switch. Yeah, you could. The problem I have with double click settings with IoT devices, right? So I haven't looked deep into it, but the examples for the Tiny Pico Play Shield, Sion is using a library called One Button or something, and that looks quite nice. You can set it to listen for like double click events and things like that. But the problem I see with it, but I haven't looked deep into it, is that it's you need to feed it. You need to feed it basically in the loop. So you need to go like process button or whatever it is, or process buttons maybe. And the problem with like stuff like say the Spotify library or whatever is that HTTPS calls are quite slow, right? So calling if you're calling Spotify like every 5 seconds to find out what song they're playing or whatever, if you call it like every 5 seconds or 10 seconds to find out what song they're playing, like while you're making that request, it's almost like putting in a big delay, right? A big half a second or 1 second delay. And I imagine, I haven't looked into it, if you press the button during that time, it just doesn't work. Why would it work? But if you had interrupts enabled, it could work. So maybe it does work with interrupts. I haven't looked into it. But could you use the ULP to get the buttons? I don't know. Maybe. You see, that's another thing with the ESP32. Like, could you just handle the buttons on the other core? Possibly. If you're using an ESP32, possibly. I can't remember, but I thought that one of the cores uses Wi-Fi, and if you do, I don't know if you can use the second core to make the Wi-Fi calls. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe, but like John said, you could possibly just run the user interface on the other core. Like, that's a possibility. The semantics of which core runs what, it doesn't really matter, right? If it's the first core, what even is the first core? I think it's core. I think you use core 1 for the loop, and then you use core 0, which would be the first core, right? Multiple in the real-time operating system. I don't really know anything about that. Okay, so let's get into the encoders anyways. In the last 15 minutes that we have. I can actually feel myself getting tired anyways, so we're gonna finish up in 15. Queue to pass the messages forward and back. Yeah, like I don't mind there being a delay in when like the action happens. Like, so if you say skip song, you press the button to skip song, and that action happens half a second later, I'm okay with that. The problem is missing that button press at all. Like, so the user presses the button and just doesn't work. That'd be a pain. Have you contacted the manufacturer's support? Who? Espressive? Encoder... Yeah, I think this one from Paul. This is Teensy Paul. ESP rotary encoder. ESP32 one. Ooh. This one's a volume knob. Okay. Examples. What was it called? Encoder. 2 knobs. So, well, I only have one at the moment, so I'll stick with that. I must start adding, like, I think I do add like links to my stuff on the top of my libraries now, but I'm just noticing that Paul has a link to, it's actually to his own stuff, so both pins have interrupt capability. Well, they will. Okay, so 5 and 6, so that is what? Clock and DT. So yellow, that's 15 and 14 for me. I don't know which is which. Maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I plan to have that for... My idea was that rotating the rotary encoder with nothing done would be volume. And then if you press it in once, it would control, like, if you would imagine like a bar of like how far along in the song you are, that it would like enable a dot on that and you could move yourself to a certain part in the song. I'm really afraid about blowing one up. Yeah, I don't have a lot of spare tiny picos. A Seek bar, yes, Joe, thank you. I think that might be a potentially nice use case. The 5-way button joysticks. Well, the 5-way button joysticks is just a lot of buttons, right? A little bit fancier than that, but I could just hook a nunchuck up to it. My daughter loves the nunchuck. Okay, so at 11 o'clock, I want to show you the snake game that I've been working on. You can help me with that. I'm pretty sure you've already helped me with that in the past. I think I've bought 1 and I somehow have 3. So I think I might even have more. Do I have more in the maker graveyard? It should be in my tiny Pico box, right? Yes, I knew I had more. So I have another 2-pack here. So okay, we can blow up tiny picos, guys. You don't need to worry about that. Oh, what did I you can link to the tiny pico shop. Or no, he's telling me to. That was his joke, was it? Here, I can help you with that. I have them in stock now. A $1 coupon. Send the ones before rework. No, thank you. Can't delete my link. I can. No, I like the tiny picos a lot. That's why I'm using them for this, right? Kind of anytime I have a battery powered project, I tend to go with them. So, yes. Okay, so I don't see why this wouldn't just work. So let's try it out. Cheeky Mark, cheeky. An old music player with a touch rotary encoder. An iPod? That's the first thing that came to my mind. What? Encoder requires interrupt pins, but this board does not have any. is what? You could try defining encoder do not use interrupts. Maybe I need to Google that. Tiny equals. How many do I have here? I've 2 fresh ones in a bag. I have 1 in this play shield. I have 1 in this breadboard. And then I have the OG one, but that's retired now. Yes, on the original green PCB. I wouldn't use that. That should go into a museum. Okay, I guess I can't use that encoder library. Encoder Arduino ESP32. Encoder library using uses interrupts. Library supports quadrature and half quadrature. Okay, I'll take your word for it, library. Yeah, it's a Pro Micro. Yep. I stole your display. This one? I got it off Maker Fabs, but you can buy them on AliExpress. If only somebody was here to make affiliate links for it. There's an ST7. This one has pretty cheap shipping. Oh, you can buy it without the. That's interesting. I didn't know I could get it so handily. There is 0 commission on this, so have at it. Just some people decide not to affiliate. So I have not bought from that link. Oh, you have a dozen. Oh no! My light is gone. To save on wires on my desk, I use battery power for this light. And yeah, I forgot to fully charge it. That is an affiliated link, but also that link doesn't support affiliates, so shows the commission, yeah, and the pass sales too, so that's pretty good. Here's Mr. Kevin Harrington's. Harrington's a real Irish name. Padraig Harrington. So I forgot to pay the bills. Why do you think I'm pushing these affiliate links so much? Kids need to eat. No, that is not true. Okay. Enable weak pull down resistors. What the? I'm quite confused what this is doing. Okay, let's do 14 and 15. That's encoder 1 sec count. This is a weird example. Anyways, we're getting to the hello time. Yeah, affiliate link at 0 affiliation. Yeah, that just means that person doesn't support linking their products. Like, I think you get to decide whether you do or not. There is 5 minutes plus a bonus overtime of I want to show you the snake game that I've been working on with my daughter. she is artistic director of this game. You could just watch any amount of my old streams. They're there. My voice is as dull as ever. Snake bonus time. What's the question mark for Steven? What am I doing here? Rotary encoder. Let's see. Baud rate 115200. Oh, we got an old crash there. That's good. Things are going well here. I don't have that thing installed either. I don't see why it's crashing. It's because I just don't have enable weak pull-up resistors. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this one. I don't care about that one. I can't imagine a rotary encoder not connected is causing it to crash, but maybe it is. Put my hand on the right end of the snake. Yes, hello Tiny Pico support. How come Tiny Picos don't work with rotary encoders? Do you get questions like that? I have to imagine out of however many you've sold, unit or... well, it's not crashing. So... well... something's not working with it. Do I have it connected up right? Clock DT. Clock DT. Yeah, it's definitely 14 and 15. Maybe I need to get some weird arse questions. Maybe I'll change it to 15, 14. Maybe that's important. Guess it could be. No, it's just a standard one. I have I squared C one somewhere. They're too expensive for this solution though. One thing that really surprises me about college projects, this isn't working either. Okay. Rotary, you've heard it here first, folks. Rotary encoders do not work with ESP32s. I'll look it up later and figure it out. I worked for a company that made a phone system, an office phone system, and I must have explained it a few times on the stream before, but I installed it into a place, and about a week later, they rang me and was like, they rang me from their mobile, which was always a bad sign, and they're like, the phones aren't working. I'm like, oh, okay, do you know what's up? No, it's really important that the phones work. I was like, yeah, okay, can you just check, is your internet working okay? She's like, no, I can't check that. And I was like, oh, why can't you check that? And she's like, because I can't turn on my computer. And I was like, why not? She was like, the power's gone. I was like, yeah. The phone system needs power. And she's like, oh yeah, I suppose. I was like, yeah, okay. There was the company that we mainly used for the trunks or the outbound connections. I'm gonna stop this. Even IP PBXs needed power. and so did the modem that was powering their internet, and all that stuff. Like, it wasn't a big office either. That is ESP32 encoder.h. I haven't looked any more than just that. Yeah, so the SIP provider that we mainly used, I had a meeting with them at one stage, and they were talking about how somebody rang them to say that, like, what was it, that since they got the SIP, or since they got the IP phone installed, their microwave stopped working. I was like, I think they are unrelated. Okay, Sion has sent on a thing, but we are over time. I will look at this, but not now. That looks much more promising, though. Don't know why it's called AI. It's very involved, but I'm okay with that. Thank you, Sion. I will add that to the backlog. Okay, so bonus time. This will probably not record well, so apologies if it doesn't look good on camera. So my I2S matrix shield, hopefully it's currently listed on Tindie. They actually rejected it earlier today because I didn't have a picture of the parts like loose, you know, what you get in the kit basically, even though it's like listed out in the description. But anywho, so I sent them on that picture. You'll also notice that I 3D printed these like little standoff things to make this a bit more secure. So I know there's a bit of flap there, but that's the controller and the PCB. Like, without these standoff things, it's the whole PCB rocks, and it doesn't now. It's pretty simple. It just slides onto the PCB on the bottom and the one on the top. So makes it a little bit more sturdy. You'll notice I have a lovely pink nunchuck controller. Okay, looks not too bad. I'm just powering this with USB because not many lights are on. Okay, you can actually see that. Nice plug. Look, this guy's a pro. This, I don't know, I must be out, right? I'm coming quite close to 1,000 sales on Tindie. I think I've like 950 or something. Not that close. Look at this. It's beautiful. I had to slow it down quite a bit because my daughter was saying that it was too fast. So you can't really see the colors at the moment. They're not that nice, but so the head of the snake is green, and through the new creative director, the body of the snake is pink, and the apple is also pink. But then creative director, who said that it needed to be slowed down so she could play it, requested another change. And that is that it is now faster. So I implemented a turbo button, and it makes it bloody impossible. An analog stick is not a great control scheme for a snake to begin with. But yeah, this makes it doubly hard. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I wrote this from scratch too, in terms of, like, I didn't look up anyone else's implementation of it. I just went along with what I thought might be good, just as a bit of practice or whatever. So the snake it's made up of a linked list. So like the head is the first thing, and it has however many body. Like every time it eats an apple, it adds an extra one to the linked list. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Can I show you something kind of interesting too? I don't know if I'll be able to demonstrate the PX matrix one. Let's see if I have a PX matrix. Let's see if I have a PX matrix thing. Yeah, like you could just like go either. Like I'm not particularly like trying to make a really good snake game. I was just trying to like demonstrate something. Yeah, so it's a linked list of pointers, right? So it's just like, hey, here's where I am, and here's my next buddy. Make it a rainbow snake. Yeah, you could. Why not? She'd actually probably love that. See, Mark knows my daughter somehow. But yeah, she probably would love that. Yeah, I want to show you something though. So this is the new version. Scope creep. I'm pretty happy with this. Like I think it's quite easy to make changes to it. So if we go down to the loop, like I read the controller input, I calculate the snake movement. So I do that every loop. So the idea behind that's true. The idea behind doing that every movement is that while it's moving slow there, that if I like move to the right, does that move in the opposite direction that I wanted it to? Perfect. How did I do that? Oh, it's bouncing. That's interesting. I'm moving it so fast there that it's bouncing back to the opposite direction. So I probably need to make it bigger, the no bounce threshold or whatever. Who cares? Yeah, so like I read the controller input every time and I calculate the snake movement. So that's basically like, hey, if they move the controller to the right, tell the snake the next time it's going to update that it's about to move to the right. Yeah, I need a bigger dead zone. I have it set to 30 at the moment, but this is a sugar lumps controller. Like this is as cheap of a nunchuck as you can get. So that's probably why it's terrible. Yeah, so it just decides where it needs to move. And then like when an update is due, so I think it's 300 milliseconds is the gap between the ticks. If it's moving at all, it processes the snake and processes the apple. Processing the snake is literally like, hey, take the tail and put it where the new movement should be, and all the rest of them stay where they are. And then I draw the snake, draw the apple, and then I update when it needs to go. And yeah, so the snake body color is pink. So it's pretty kind of segmented or whatever. I also have the ability to try and make it a little bit easier on her. I made the ability to make a fat snake. Let me just uncomment these. I'm not sure if I've tested does this work. Since I made changes, because I originally had made those changes in a different file. The nunchuck board 26 is not available. It's also not a tiny Pico anymore. Yeah, the pink one. I have some official ones here as well, but yeah, she likes the pink one. Who would have thought? A fat snake. A woo. It doesn't matter. They'll just get redefined, right? I should comment the other ones, but they'll just get redefined over. I think the most recent ones will get used. Compiling sketch. That's the theme tune. It's the same as DuckTales, right? Fat snake. Woo. She wasn't impressed. Like, she was like, "Why are you saying woo?" I think you can read. Let's see if that's true or not. Yeah, so it did work. So there's my fat snake. Woo. So yeah. So that was another way to make it a little bit easier. You probably want to slow it down a little bit more as well, but yeah. So that was just a way to, because it's hard to get the precision when it's like a 64 by 64 matrix. So this just it makes the snake three wide, or each body of them 3 wide. Go turbo. I forgot about turbo. I didn't have turbo on the last time I had a fat snake. Let me go to. Yeah, the snake is empty. Yeah, I could do filled rectangles. I'm just doing fat snake. Ooh. This is so difficult. But I'm quite happy with this. It's like, it's nice. Like, and it's really not matrix specific. Like, so there is code here that is clearly matrix specific, but it's really like Adafruit GFX specific more than anything. So it should work with any library that's like, this was originally written for the PX Matrix one, and I ported it across. So yeah, the thing I want to show is I want to. Right, so here is. I've made some changes since, but I just want to show something. Open. So this was my original sketch, the PX Matrix one. No, you can't make a snake game. Even a big flip-top display, if it supports PX Matrix, why not? Close the squares. Michael, you could push a pull request to close the squares. Alright, so this was the original one, if I shared my screen. And, like, I was doing something I shouldn't do. Affiliate link for that matrix. You better believe it. Yeah, I'll grab it in a second, Tad. I was doing a delay between frames, and my delay between frames was 10, if I remember right. Delay between frames is 10. Right. I want to show you what that looks like on this matrix. So let me get rid of my fat snake stuff. Man, my overtime has went a little bit more overtime. But yeah, I'll finish up in a few minutes. But so I've commented out my fat snake, and I'm just gonna comment out my entire loop and put back in this loop. And I don't know if I have a delay between frames anymore, so it's at 10. There. ESP30. Yeah, sure. There's display fill screen. Oh yes, that is different now. Yeah, sure. There's emulators and everything for the ESP 32. Could I make Dig Dug? I guess, like, I didn't I'm gonna be honest. I didn't start off with the intention of like making. I didn't go. I really want to make a Snake game, so I'm gonna do this. I I had the nunchuck adapter, and I wanted to make something that used the Matrix and the nunchuck, and I thought Snake was the most achievable, and I might also learn something about pointers. Right, so here is what this looks like on this version. And it's fast, right? So there it is, flying away. 1 second now. I wonder, do I have another matrix? I don't think I do. Okay, so remember how fast this is at the moment. So I don't know. It takes about a second, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, S is so fast it fixes bad code. Right. So remember how fast this is. Okay. Right, so I'm going to swap out to the PX Matrix one. Now, I really don't want to be crapping on PX Matrix because I still think it's a really good library in terms of, it has a huge amount of support. Like, not everything needs to be this fast or whatever. So, like, don't take this as me crapping on PX Matrix. Just PX Matrix was originally written for the ESP or ESP8266, and I think that to keep it the same, like it's not making use of all the things available to it on the ESP32. So, like, I really don't want to take this as me crapping on PX Matrix. That is not my intention. But performance-wise, there's a huge difference between the two of them, which I'm going to show you now. Where is my... No, I really like Tudom as well, the guy who writes PX Matrix. I think he's a really nice guy, so I don't spread that rumor around that I am crapping on it. Do I have another ESP32? I do. Here we go. Right, so it's only a pity that I don't have two matrices here to oops, that's the wrong way, to demonstrate between the two of them. Is the diode bypassed? It is. What is my source voltage? It's oops, that's not pressed in. At that wire that's plugged in there is my Mac charger. It's 20 volts. But I also have power banks that I use as well. So they also operate at 20 volts. Okay, so I have two things of Snake open. So this should just work now if it's the same port. It's not the same port. So you think 1.5 seconds was the other one. AliExpress is already bugging you. It's like, hey, I hear you're watching Brian Locke. He does nothing but use these matrix displays. Is that what you meant by the source voltage, Jet? This is my Dig Dug remake. You better not have made it just now. Because that'd be very impressive. Ugh. It doesn't like when I click on links to YouTube stuff in the studio app for whatever reason. It's done uploading, but it's not doing anything. You heard it here first, folks. My thing is terrible. The diode is bypassed. The nunchuck is plugged in. The display is connected. Should be working. Is it complaining that it can't? Oh, it's boot looping. That's weird. Let's try upload it again. I just wondered why you need the PD board to hook to it. Why do I need the PD board to hook up to it? I'm not sure what you mean. It's kind of annoying I can't open that link. Yeah, it tries to open studio.youtube and then watch, so I suppose I can just get rid of some of that. Digby Extreme. So it's done uploading, but it's crashing. That's interesting. I wonder what's wrong with that. Maybe this is bad? Is it plugged in the right spot? I'll just read it. This is taking way longer than I planned it to. Maybe that one's bad. Who knows? Okay, so it was just continuously crashing. A rant channel. That might be nice. I think you'd probably just start a new one, then take over that one though, right? What would you rant about? Oh, well, so how power delivery works, Jet, is the device you're plugging into needs to negotiate with the power supply to say what voltage it wants. So if I didn't have that board, like if I just made an adapter where I turned like USB-C into the barrel jack, it wouldn't work. I think it would do about 5 volts. Is it still trying to use port 14? See you, John. Yeah, so it would just do 5, I think, if you just connected it up somehow. So it needs to properly negotiate with the charger. And it will also do things like, you know, handle scenarios where the charger can't provide it or whatever. Is this crashing too? What did I do? It's crashing. I think I updated PX Matrix recently. Is it this timer being 80? Does that need to be 50? I think the most recent version of PX Matrix didn't work for me the same. Yeah, so no, PX Matrix does not suck. It does not at all. The game's broken. Yeah, she's gonna kill me. Is it still crashing? Still crashing. Okay, we're gonna fix it. No, it's this thing. Display 30. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working anymore. This used to work. I try to turn it on. I should. Why PX Matrix? Why? It knows. It knows I've moved on. I'd love to know why it's crashing, even. I really need to install that that debuggery thing. It knows. It knows. It's like, no, I don't wanna show you. Let's set this to 10. I'm just making all types of changes at the moment. Let's scan rate. Scan rate's 32, that's right. I definitely had PX Matrix working. Why are parts of the matrix darker? It's the shadow from the webcam. Oops. This is still going to Crash City. Okay, hold on a second now. Pixel time. This was working for me earlier. I think. Pretty sure I was using a 64 by 64 matrix, which makes me think that it is. Okay. So I think I had to drop this down, I think, if I remember right. I commented this out. This in 64 by 64. Okay, let's try that out. .5 seconds. Still a lot better. Okay, let's see if this works. And then figure out why the other thing isn't working. So this is just like a basic example of PX Matrix. It's not working right. Is the diode bypass is on. That's plugged in correctly. Like that's not working correctly. It does it. Like it should have. It should have colors. Would be my first complaint about it. Is that it should have colors. So that would be my first complaint. And then it's also in the wrong position, which would be my second complaint. So maybe, like, why is that down there? Oh, this is wrong. This should be 32 for, no code change. Yeah, this is a node code change speed comparison. I'm currently shaving this yak. China wants your blood. Oh, I've not been sharing my screen with you. This display.begin was what was wrong, I presume. Look at this, it's half 11 when I said I was going to finish at 11. Now serial port 10 isn't working. Oh, come on. It's pretty jumpy. Why aren't you working, serial port 10? I suppose you're open, maybe. I would say the webcam is relatively representative. Oh, would you come on? What yak are we shaving now that this bloody Windows 10, this device is not functioning correctly. Windows, and now it is not appearing in my, I think the yaks have been shaved, folks. The last USB device I plugged in is not working. No, it's not recognizing that. That normally what I'd need to do in that situation is plug on and off my USB hub. But my USB hub is where stuff is plugged into, so that wouldn't be good. No, this is not PX Matrix's fault. This is Brian's fault. Yeah, my hub needs to be turned off. I'm going to try one other thing before we finish up. I'm going to plug it into not my hub. Now Windows, don't you dare complain about this. Just upload the bloody thing. I don't think so. Like, they were all red LEDs. Like, there's no way that was pulling any amount of current. It's plugged into a port of my hub that can take 1.5 amps too, so like yeah, okay, right, so we've gotten that. No, why doesn't my snake work? What is the difference between them? So I have my double buffer set. I don't know if this guy is double buffer set. Maybe that's some of it. Hardware initializer, blah, 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 blah. Screen display 10. display draw time. So it's 40 for that one, so I'll change it up to 40. Just keep it the same. Screen X, screen Y, blah 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 blah. A B C D E, A B C D E. It's all fine. If ESP 32, so the capped with 80, I'll keep with 80. So alarm timer is 4,000 for them, so I'll update it to 4,000. And then display begin is 32. That must be up here somewhere, isn't it? Display begin scan rate. Yeah, I don't see why this wouldn't work. That's what she said. What did she say? Okay, it's uploading. It's uploading. Is it gonna go to Crash Town or is it... Okay. I don't know exactly what I did different there, but it's working now. Okay. So do you remember how slow it was before? Hey, it's pretty fast. I remember it being way slower than this. It's definitely slower though. Why doesn't my snake work? Nah, it's nowhere near as fast as the other one. Like, it has to be at least twice as slow, right? Three times slower. Like, it's slow, right? Now, I know this is a crappy example with crappy code and crappy everything, but this is literally the same code. And, you know, it has that big of a performance difference. Let me, It's probably twice as slow. I actually remember it being worse, but, that's fine. Let me get the snake out. Port 10. He uses his mind. Yeah, I wish I had another matrix display. Like I do, but where it is and do I have stands for it and stuff like that is the real question. Okay, so brain is getting... There's a lot of innuendo floating around here. Don't like it. Just 2 hours today, yep. Okay, so that's what speed it's going at the moment. And then we swap over to... Where's my bloody screwdriver? On the floor, of course it's on the floor. Why wouldn't it be on the floor? Get rid of this ribbon cable. Who wants your ribbon cable? It's one thing I'm super excited about with the new matrix design is that I don't have to package up ribbon cables anymore. Well, that's not true. Like, the PX Matrix one is not going anywhere. Like, that's still available, and, you know, there's more examples for PX Matrix, and, like, it seems to be, like, a better supported library. You have to, again, something I don't really like, but with this new library, the I2S one, you need to edit the library to make it work. Like a header file in the library, which I don't like, but what's a guy to do? Where is... Let's just look how fast it is. Yeah, this is This is for my Patreons. Come on, that's faster. Look how fast it is. He's so fast he's turned pink. If only there was some way I could detect when he was there and print it out on screen or something. We'll never be able to know. Okay, that's me finished. Yeah, it's faster. It's faster. Hello, Graham. Good day. D-Day to you. Is that a threat? Yeah. Yeah, so it's all good. Yeah, so that's where we are. His snake is faster than your snake. Always. Yeah, so that's that stream. If anybody has any like good ideas for simple games, oh yeah, I could absolutely do that. There's a part where it rolls over, like it decides, hey, I'm greater than the world, I need to move back or whatever. If anyone has simple games that they think would work well with a nunchuck and a matrix panel, let me know, or even better, make it and I'll try it out on the matrix panel. Yeah, I think this is a fun kind of a game to make for a matrix panel and see how it goes. Yeah, I don't have turbo mode on this. It's already fast, though. I better put back my my actual new code that has turbo mode. It's quite difficult. I can't even. I'm trying to crash here, and I'm not able to. It's too fast. Can't do it, Captain. And that would be copyright infringement. I wouldn't want to do that. Pong is Breakout would be better, right? Because Pong is a two-player. Well, I suppose you can probably play against the computer. Space Invaders. Yeah, Space Invaders would be pretty good. Can any of you make these? And I'll just try them out. I don't want to make them. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. I'm going to finish up now so I can take a rest before I go to bed. Thank you for joining. I will talk to you all again soon.